The Syracuse University Student Association president has recently announced a new sustainability plan for the future.
An American band since 1982 rocked the Dome this past weekend.
Find out which Broadway show closed after 35 years of performance.
All that, plus your weather and orange sports coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Good morning, I'm Cole Kirst. Thanks for joining us for Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Cheyenne Johnson. Here's a look at today's top story. The Syracuse Students Association recently announced new sustainability goals for the university. Our Mark Budd spoke with the SA president, David Brunin, about the goals and joins us live.
The announcement was made just before Earth Day by the Student Association in hopes to improve multiple sustainability goals. Let's show what these goals are. The first goal was that the target date to get SU to have net zero carbon emission was originally 2040, but with the leadership of David Buren and company, that date has been moved up by 8 years to 2032. And potentially even sooner. The second goal is the reduction of plastic. One way to do this is less plastic in vending machines to help change the culture of this university, as Bruin put it. Another goal is to include Syracuse students by having a sustainability competition. Students and faculty will have the opportunity to give input and ideas on carbon emissions reduction. Bruin spoke on how this announcement was made. He has had multiple student leaders from other universities reach out to him, telling him how they are impressed and are asking him how they can make what he did for Syracuse happen with their university.
It's a beautiful day here in Syracuse, and as the spring has come of late, we really want to test and see with our reporter, Yoki Tang, and what the winter has meant in this transition to spring. Good morning, Yoki.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Cole and Cheyenne. A really great talk. As we all know, the spring season is characterized by a lot of rain and unexpected cold winds. So even though there was a significant cooling down from yesterday to today compared to last week, we are indeed in spring season. With Earth's north atmosphere begins to lead toward the sun, we'll have more sunlight and such temperature will gradually begin to rise. So this is just the beginning. Let's take a look at today's temperature. Windy this morning, be sure you're taking a coat or French coat when you're out with you. Temperature is 42 Fahrenheit, but feeling like 36 Fahrenheit due to we have a huge 21 miles per hour wind this morning. And this is the weather for now. And now I'll tell you more in the suit. Back to you, Cole and Cheyenne.
Onondaga County Legislator Charles Garden is calling for Syracuse to add more surveillance cameras after shots was fired outside his mother's home on the south side of the city. Our reporter Matt Hassan has more details on this.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Yeah, Garland told me his mother was completely fine, fortunately, but reiterated that Syracuse continues to struggle with a violent crime problem. This prompted him to stir the pot on an issue that he's been beating the drum on for years, and that's adding more surveillance cameras. So I spoke to Syracuse Police Public Information Officer Matt Malinowski, who told me that the city has applied for state funding to put up 20 more cameras in the city, and they already have over 100. And they help a lot. You know, they solve crime. They solve cases where there's not a lot of eyewitnesses and people don't want to speak, and they also deter crime with that blue blinking light system and makes the area safer. And he's also interested in adding more of these cameras, but he says it comes with challenges such as COVID supply chain issues that have prevented the city from getting camera parts to install them and put them up, and also it involves the police department working with agencies such as the National Grid and energy companies to actually get internet service to these cameras. But County Legislator Garland says that is not that's not what he's been hearing, at least in the south side of the city, where he says that he's sure that they have the infrastructure, they have the wiring, and he actually told me that if they wanted to do this, they would. That's exactly what he told me. That's the quote. And so he says that that they need to basically direct more resources to that area of the south side. But for now, the city is going to add 26 more license plate reading cameras very soon. And it's kind of to be determined on what will happen with those surveillance cameras. But we do know that a county legislator is calling for more of them, and specifically on the south side where him and his mother lives and where the city sees a lot of violent crime. So for Mornings on the Hill, I'm Matt Hassan. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Matt. Micron has taken its first step towards the construction of the $100 billion microchip plant in Clay. Engineers from the East Syracuse company began to break ground yesterday as they prepare to test the construction site. The plant is expected to be done by 2030 and will provide thousands of jobs for the local community. Coming up on Mornings on the Hill as well, a local Syracuse organization is providing opportunities for girls of color to receive more recognition. Stick with us. Welcome back to Mornings on the Hill. Time to check your weather for today.
Yoki is in studio with a look at your full weather forecast.
Welcome back, guys. And thank you, Cheyenne and Nicole. So let's continue to dive into our weather today. It's still like windy, huge wind today because we have a 21 miles per hour wind today, and with a visibility of 10 miles. And so it's feeling like, although it's like 42 Fahrenheit, but it's feeling like 36 Fahrenheit with a humidity like 60%. And let's continue to look our daily planner. Like how is the day planner tomorrow? So for tomorrow morning, we'll have some precipitation at 26% of the snow, but with a 35 Fahrenheit with the temperature. And in the afternoon, we have just like 2% on the precipitation. So there will be like seldom like no more in the Syracuse, but will be still continuous more in the whole central New York. And with still like a bit of raining and with the temperature at 48 Fahrenheit, and there will be no raining whole afternoon till the evening. So in the evening, we'll be see like a mostly cloudy day, and maybe with some like beautiful sunrise or sunset. So. And for the 5-day forecast in Syracuse, so there is like tomorrow will be like 48 Fahrenheit and 35 Fahrenheit with lowest, and Thursday will be the 64 Fahrenheit and 38 Fahrenheit lowest, and the Friday will be a 67 Fahrenheit with 53 Fahrenheit lowest. And be mindful for the Friday, although the temperature is up, so there is an air quality alert, so very low air index, and the increase of particles and dust in air. So if you have elderly people in the home or you have some respiratory disease, please take precautions when you're out. And if you're in the home, open the air freshener. This is a great way to relieve the discomfort on that specific day. And for Saturday and Sunday, we will see some like precipitations on the raining and the lightning. So average of like 67 and 66 Fahrenheit and the lowest with 45 Fahrenheit and 44 Fahrenheit. So, and this is the weather for today. Back to you, Cole and Cheyenne.
Black Girls Don't Get Love is a local organization that is helping to make young girls, especially young women of color, feel like they can truly express themselves. It aims to provide them with the confidence to live their full potential and make their voices heard. Our Isabel Flores joins us live in the studio to tell us more about the activities that are being planned to continue this mission.
That's right. Good morning, everyone. It is a little chilly out here, so Yoki, thank you so much for that weather update and for letting me borrow this jacket because it's so comfy. But back to our story. So I actually want to talk about Black Girls Don't Get Love, an organization that was founded by Eden Strawn. She's actually from Ithaca, but she's now very Syracuse-based and is doing a lot of activities here in Syracuse to help promote awareness and give little girls, especially girls of color, a platform for representation. This weekend, they're actually hosting an outdoor experience in which girls will be going and camping out for a few hours over at Green Lakes Park. For everyone that's interested, they have to register online at the website blackgirlsdon'tgetlove.com in order to get a spot. But last Saturday, I was actually able to catch up with Eden and a few of the members of the community who actually really support the cause. Eden's actually in the midst of producing a TV show and raising $1.5 million to try and get it produced and released by next Valentine's Day in 2024. Now, she's really been making a lot of strides to try and get a lot of girls to make sure that their voices are heard and represented on TV. So the show will actually be circling around a black girl who's actually trying to just come of age and making her way through middle school and maybe even high school, so that Eden wants to show that Black girls can also have a platform on TV, and not just, for things like trauma movies. And she wants to show that they can have normal lives just like everyone else. And again, this is just a huge cause that she wants to contribute to, and hopefully this will all make its way next year. But I'm Isabel Flores with Mornings on the Hill. Cheyenne and Cole, back to you.
One of the most popular extracurricular activities at Syracuse University is intramural sports. For many students who want to be competitive, play their favorite sports, or just have fun, it's a great way to get active. Our reporter Sarah Carroll at the Bowen Center to tell us more.
Thank you, guys. I'm right outside Flanagan Gym, where I went last night to watch kids play futsal. There was a lot of effort and intensity being displayed there. I talked to a few students about what it means to have their competitive juices out. One student I talked to said that most students aren't D1 athletes, so it's good that Barnes Center offers intramural sports. And I talked to another student where he talked about how you get to meet students from all different walks of life, whether they're from India, Morocco, and China. And another student said it's also a good way to relieve stress, where you can exercise and compete against your friends. So if you want an outlet to get your competitive juices out and exercise, Barnes Center is the place for you. They offer a variety of sports, no matter your skill level or experience, whether it's basketball, football, or kickball. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Cyril Cray. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Cyril. The defamation lawsuit brought by Dominion Voting Systems against Fox News begins today. Dominion is accusing Fox News of spreading lies and damaging statements, claiming that Dominion helped rig the 2020 election.
Fox has maintained that its statements on Dominion are protected by the First Amendment rights of freedom of speech. The trial is expected to last up to 6 weeks. Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, we have an update on our Syracuse lacrosse teams. Those sports stories and more right after this.
March is always madness, but April may be even crazier. The transfer portal has shaken up the landscape of college basketball, and for the better. And at least for the case of Syracuse, it's a good thing. Good morning, I'm Carson Fowler, joining you with your Orange Sports Update here on Mornings on the Hill. A few major headlines coming out of Cuse Athletics. Syracuse men's basketball picked up its second commitment this offseason via the transfer portal. Former Auburn guard Chance Westry announced yesterday that he would play for the Orange next season. Westry picked SU over a final list of schools that included Creighton, St. John's, Seton Hall, and Penn State. The 6'6" guard was a highly touted prospect coming out of high school, ranked as the 39th best recruit in the nation according to ESPN. And fifth-year senior Megan Tyrell continuing to make the most of her grad year, just 2 points shy of the all-time points record at Syracuse and only 15 goals shy of the all-time goals record held by her head coach, Kayla Trainer. Tyrell putting together another unbelievable season at SU. She had 6 points, 2 goals, and 4 assists in a 14-12 victory over number 5 North Carolina on Saturday. She was a big reason why the Orange left Chapel Hill with a win for the first time in 6 years. Syracuse men's lacrosse getting hot at the right time ahead of the NCAA tournament. Back-to-back wins against ranked opponents, including a 15-14 victory over number 12 North Carolina on Saturday. This game was an absolute dogfight all the way. 5 lead changes and only 8 ties in this one in Chapel Hill. SU getting hot at start. It's the fourth quarter. Alex Simmons rifles one. SU puts it up tied 11-11 in the fourth quarter. Then it's Joey Spallina. Gets past the defender, diving goal, puts it in, his first goal of the game. SU leads. Then Logan McGovern, laser, ties his game at 12, 8 minutes to go. Joey Spallina, the fab freshman, basically unguarded, puts it in, strikes nylon. Then it's Brandon Aviles, puts it past his former teammate Colin Krieg, his first goal of the season, coast to coast. SU leads once again. Then it's North Carolina. They go back-to-back, 14-14, 2.5 to go. Then it's Michael Leo, gets past the UNC defenseman, diving goal. SU leads 15-14 in Chapel Hill. SU comes away with the win, their first win against North Carolina in 4 years. SU travels to Charlottesville, Virginia this Saturday to take on number 3 Virginia in what some are calling a must-win game for the Orange if they have any hopes of getting a bid to the NCAA tournament in May. Now, going from land to water, Syracuse men's rowing, who confidently sit at number 4 in the nation, traveled to Ithaca this weekend. Our sports reporter Polina Shimanova was there live. Polina, what do you have for us?
That's right, Carson. Syracuse men's crew secured both the Ghost Trophy and the Stock Cup this weekend in Ithaca, New York. They competed at the Lake Cayuga, and they competed against Cornell and Navy as an annual tradition. Now let me tell you a little bit about the history behind this race. The Ghost Trophy was created in 1955 to honor coaches James Tenag, Charles Courtney, and Richard Gleason. The trophy is given to the fastest varsity 8 boat. This year is the 3rd straight time Syracuse took the trophy home. While the Stack Cup is presented to the team compiling the most overall points among all the boats competing. This year is the first time ever Syracuse had 3 consecutive wins off the Stack Cup.
You know, you put in a lot of hard work, and whether like all 3 of these programs do, whether it's in winter training when you're rowing the erg for the umpteenth time in a row, or in the various weather we have down in Annapolis or up here in upstate New York.
Speaking of weather, this weekend it couldn't get any better. Stroke seat Arnaud Bouard says it definitely had a positive impact on their performance.
Well, first of all, we have amazing condition and we had great adversity. And I think we're all happy because we were able to put in place what we worked on this week. There was great boat feel, like the boat we're really able to make it breathe, let it glide under us.
Did you know that weather can even affect the speed of the boat? As graduate student Nick Cole says, it has to do with the water density, so there is less resistance on the boat when the water is warmer.
The race was much better than last week. We found a better rhythm with our knowing stroke, and we were able to generate more power through the whole 2,000 meters.
Not even did Syracuse win both trophies, Varsity 8 boat also said the course record was the final time of 5 minutes and 33 seconds. Up next, Syracuse competes at Lake Maury at Vermont as they face Dartmouth, Boston U, and Georgetown on April 29th. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Polina Shimanova.
Still to come here on Mornings on the Hill, a Broadway staple has closed its doors. Stay with us. You're watching Mornings on the Hill.
April 16th.
Welcome back to Mornings on the Hill, the longest show in Broadway. History closed on Sunday after 30 years. Morning on the Hill reporter Jeremy Lynch joins us live to tell us a little more about the show.
That's right. The Phantom of the Opera closed at the Majestic Theater in New York City on Sunday after playing nearly 14,000 performances to crowds over its run since 1988. I had the pleasure to attend the show back on September 1st, 2017, and this show left a mark on me as well as the audience as it has throughout the years.
The longest-running show on Broadway, The Phantom of the Opera, came to a close this weekend on April 16th, 2023. The production officially opened on January 9th, 1988, and closed after 35 years on Broadway. The production has cited operation costs to be the reason why the show initially closed. The show was initially supposed to close on February 18th, but due to an increased demand in tickets, it got an 8-week extension until April 16th. The Phantom of the Opera did come to the Landmark Theater back in 2016. However, it has not been brought back to Syracuse since. As a result of the production being shut down, Mayor Eric Adams gave the composer Andrew Lloyd Webber a key to New York City.
Broadway has always been my kind of dream, and as the mayor said quite brilliantly, that Broadway is the reason that so many people come to New York, and I felt very, very much a part of the community, even though I'm British. I still feel that this is the home of musicals and where I want to be. So I'd like to just say thank you very, very, very much. It's something that means a great deal to me, and I hope that Broadway continues to thrive.
This means that the 1996 revival of the musical Chicago is now the longest-running show on Broadway. Happy trails to Phantom of the Opera. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Jeremy Lynch.
One lucky Central New York man had his best round of golf ever this weekend. Vincent Ferriero was playing around at the Beaver Meadows golf course and couldn't believe it when he hit a hole-in-one on the 8th hole. What's even crazier is just 9 holes later on the 17th, Vincent would do it again. Vincent says he and his group had no idea the ball went in until they reached the green. He says he kept the scorecard and ball for a souvenir and was so excited he bought the entire clubhouse around. Cheers, Vincent. The Red Hot Chili Peppers couldn't stop at the Dome this weekend. Since the renovations took place last fall inside the arena, the Red Hot Chili Peppers have been one of the many performances thus far. Over 30,000 fans cheered and clapped for the band, who played their top 10 hit Scar Tissue and encored with Give It Away, Give It Away, Give It Away Now. The Chili Peppers' next stop will be in San Diego, California at Snapdragon Stadium on May 12th. I'm here joined by none other than other anchor Cheyenne Johnson. Cheyenne, who's another performer that you'd be excited to see come to the Dome?
I think I would want to see Ice Spice. What about you?
I think I'm really excited for Bruce Springsteen to come, but I would also really enjoy Chris Stapleton. I think he would bring an exciting flair to the Dome and another taste of music in the upstate region.
Okay, cool. And I say Ice Spice because she's up and coming. She's what's hot right now, and she's the it girl.
That's awesome. And what are your plans for the rest of the week? Are you busy? Do you have anything coming up that's newsworthy for the rest of our viewers and the rest of Mornings on the Hill?
Honestly, just finishing out with work, classes, projects, and getting ready for our next newscast.
Definitely. These next 2 weeks of school are going to be coming to a close as the spring semester is bookending. We're really excited to be able to not only share with the entire Mornings on the Hill cast and also the viewers, but this has been an incredible semester for us to be a part. What has this meant to you to not only anchor but also report on this newscast?
It has gave me so much experience. This is my second time anchoring, so like I said, I had never done this before. And then with reporting, it also just gave me more experience.
Thank you. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Cole Kurtz, joined by Cheyenne Johnson.